LogicRail Technologies would like to thank Mike Slater and the rest of the Trainfest X crew for giving us the opportunity to share our new product announcements with you. Like many of you, we are sad and disappointed that we could not do this in person this year. We miss our friends and customers and hope that we'll see you next year. 2020 has been a very busy year for us. We have developed the second generation of our signal circuits. These can be broken down into two categories: block signal control, which consists of the new Signal Animator 2 and Block Animator 2, and grade crossing control, which includes our new Grade Crossing Pro 2, the Grade Crossing Pro 2 expander, as well as several onboard bell modules. The original Signal Animator was introduced in 1999. The inspiration for that product came from a local friend. At the time, we offered some fairly complex signal circuits. Our friend, however, wanted something simple. He just wanted the signal to change colors as the train passed by. Simple animation. The Signal Animator includes a single sensor, which when covered by a passing train will cause the block signal to turn red. After the train clears the sensor, the circuit delays time and then changes the signal to yellow. After an equal time delay, the signal reverts back to green. What's new in Generation 2? Well, we've gone from a choice of only 2 delay times to a fully adjustable time delay from 1 to 127 seconds. We've improved the infrared detection method, which is now more resistant to any interference from overhead light. We've incorporated the random mode, which used to be a separate product. So as the name implies, at random times, the signal will cycle through its color sequence. This simulates phantom train traffic. To assist in troubleshooting, we cycle the outputs when power is first applied to the board. There are different versions available for the Signal Animator based on the type of signal you're going to connect to it. The SA/2 is for 3 light LED signals constructed with a common anode, which is the positive side of the LED, and for any type of searchlight signal. The -SBCA version is for use with Tilmar semaphore motors, which are based on the Circuitron tortoise slow motion motor. This will also work with any bulb-based signals and any common anode position light signals like the Pennsylvania Railroad or B&O style. And finally, the -CC version is for use with LED signals, either 3 light or position light, which are constructed with a common cathode, which is the negative side of the LED. All of these variants are available with different types of detectors, either with a photocell for use with constant overhead light, or with infrared components which will operate under any lighting conditions, including complete darkness. And those infrared components can be mounted either between the rails or across the rails. And finally, we offer the board without any sensors if you choose to use a third-party detector, such as the NCE BD20. The original Block Animator was introduced in 2003. We refer to it as the big brother to the Signal Animator. It controls 2 3-aspect signal heads as compared to the single 3-aspect signal head capability of the Signal Animator. It's also more intelligent in that it uses 2 sensors per signal head. As such, it can detect the direction of train travel and sequence the signal more prototypically, but we don't pretend that this is truly prototypical signaling. However, there are some cool features which do replicate prototype signal behavior. For example, approach lighting keeps the signal dark until the train approaches the face of the signal, when it is then illuminated. For searchlight type signals, we have our True Lens 2 feature, which mimics the red flicker of a prototype signal mechanism as the aspect changes from yellow to green. These features may be turned on or off. What's new with the Block Animator 2? Well, again, we've gone to an adjustable time delay, 1 to 127 seconds. We've improved the infrared detection as previously described. We've incorporated a 4th aspect, flashing yellow, which would be shown in between the yellow and green aspects. That feature can be turned on or off. Similarly, we've added signal fade, so when the signals are changing aspects, we can actually fade the signals on and off. And again, that feature can be turned on or off as you choose. For troubleshooting, we've added the sequencing of the signal outputs when power is first applied to the board, and we've also broken out the sensor status, which was formerly 1 LED. Now we've got individual LEDs for each of the sensors. Like the Signal Animator 2, there are multiple versions available based on the type of signals that you're going to connect. And again, it's offered in 3 different detection methods: photocell, infrared, or no sensors if you choose to use something external. On to the Grade Crossing Pro 2. We first introduced the Grade Crossing Pro in 2004, and it is our most popular and most well-known product. It provides prototypical control of grade crossing signals, sound, and gates. Our TrueLamp 2 feature provides realistic fading in and out of the lamps while flashing, and this replicates what you would see on older prototype crossing signals that were built with light bulbs. The Grade Crossing Pro 2, like the original, has bidirectional detection for prototypical starting and end of the action. So when the train approaches from afar, the action will start. As the end of the train clears the crossing on the opposite side, the action will then shut off. There's no connection required to track power, and this will work with DC or DCC in any scale. The Grade Crossing Pro 2 has several new features. Like the other products previously described, we've improved the infrared detection. And like the Block Animator 2, we have individual sensor status LEDs. We've added a new output, the end of gate arm LED. So if your crossing gates have LEDs mounted on them, the one that's on the very end is typically on solid when the signals are flashing. But if you don't have gates with LEDs or no gates at all, you can certainly use that output for other things. Maybe you want to trigger a traffic light controller such that the oncoming traffic signals are held at red while the train is going through the crossing. We've added an onboard socket for an optional Bell sound module. With the original Grade Crossing Pro, we were offering Bell sound modules made by Innovative Train Technology. With the new Grade Crossing Pro 2, we're incorporating that Bell module capability directly onto the board. So this is much more cost effective and it reduces some of the wiring complexity. And we're proud to say that we're able to use the sound files from Innovative Train Technology with their permission. So we're bringing you quite a few varieties. We've added different timing options for when the gates are lowered and when the bell is ringing. For example, you may choose to have the grade crossing bell only ring while the gates are moving up or down. Or you may choose to have the bell ring the entire time the signals are flashing. You can configure these options on the board. We've also changed the way we handle multiple tracks. With the original Grade Crossing Pro, if you had a multi-track crossing and you wanted to signal it prototypically, we required you to have one Grade Crossing Pro board per track. With the new Grade Crossing Pro 2, we've changed that architecture and we've introduced a new product called the Grade Crossing Pro 2 Expander, which we'll describe next. The signal outputs are sequenced when power is first applied to help with troubleshooting. And we've retained support for slow motion motors for gates, such as the Circuitron Tortoise that's used in the Tomar crossing gate kit. And we're adding servo motor support for gates, which we hope to have ready before the end of this year. Similar to the other products, there's different detection solutions available: photocell detection, infrared detection, or again, without any sensors for use with external detectors. So as just mentioned, we've changed the way we handle multiple track crossing. So the new GCP2 expander would be used for your additional tracks. You'd use one expander board per track. It comes with 4 sets of sensors, again, either infrared or photocell or none, if you so choose. And it has the same characteristics and improved infrared detection, for example, as the Grade Crossing Pro 2, the individual status LEDs, and so forth. It's a much more cost-effective solution than the original solution. So if you have multiple tracks, this is actually going to save you some money. So what else does our company offer? We don't make signals, but we do carry several popular brands. Signal supply has been challenging for some manufacturers during these times. Tomar has struggled to keep up with demand while dealing with a reduced workforce. Unfortunately, we're still waiting on signals we ordered early this year and actually throughout the year. We encourage our customers to contact Tomar themselves to reinforce the desire to purchase their signals. Last year at Trainfest, Atlas showed samples of the Searchlight signals formerly made by BLMA. We are hopeful that these will be in mass production soon and we will be stocking all varieties they offer. We make few Cs. These are railroad flares. The stationary version you see on the left includes a realistic looking flare shape. The mobile version shown on the right can be placed anywhere you have track power as it takes power from the rails. Both versions offer adjustable burn times to allow you to scale down the actual 10-minute burn time of a real few C. As it burns, it will flicker realistically and then sputter as it burns out. We also offer resistance wheel sets. We call them detectable in both HO and N scale. We now have a complete line of CTC panel components consisting of LED indicators with bezels, switches, and the RIX product plate and knob kit. With several signal manufacturers using magnet wire, our signal tester helps you figure out which wire is connected to which LED color. All you need is a 9-volt battery, which plugs onto the board. Finally, we offer fast clocks for both the Digitrax LocoNet and the NCE cab bus. The standard size shown on the left has 0.8-inch digits, while the large one shown on the right has 2.3-inch digits. With some great assistance from members of the Open LCB group, we are finishing up the development of LCC versions of fast clocks too. If you want to learn more, you can visit our website where we have detailed product information, extensive documentation, and links to videos. You can purchase our products through our secure online store. As a special promotion, we are offering a 20% discount on all electronic products through the end of November. Use discount code TF2020 during checkout. Note that we discount Signals 20% already, so this new discount would not apply to Signals. You can reach us by phone or email, follow us on Facebook, and view our videos on YouTube. Within the next 4 to 6 weeks, we'll be adding videos on our new products. Once again, thank you for the opportunity to share our new product announcements with you. We'll hopefully see you at Trainfest 2021.